He's Jeff,
He's Joe.
and this is Truth Be Told.
Well, welcome back. It has been a long time, and glad to be back in the studio with my best bud. And we hope that today's show will help someone. How about that?
Yeah, lots taking place in the downtime, and we're, I think, even still trying to figure out where we're actually going to go with this. But yeah, wherever we go, I'm sure it'll be exciting.
Well, since the last time that we were on the air, I told you the story that my wife was in need of a double lung transplant, and April 5th, I believe, is the day we got the call, and it was quite a roller coaster again, but this time it actually happened, and it's been since April, so May, June, July, here we are in August, 4 months since she got her transplant. At the moment, she's actually in the hospital right now.
I didn't know that.
Because they called her in because she wasn't feeling good the last couple of days, and we tested for COVID and all that, and she doesn't have the flu or any of that. She was just nauseous and couldn't keep anything down. But she's in there right now. She's going to do a bronchoscopy tomorrow or the next day. It depends because it's like busy over there right now. But
Busy? Why? COVID?
it's just I don't know if it's COVID or not. It could be. It possibly is. But she's safe, and once they do that, I'm gonna go pick her up, and she's actually doing well now. Doing really well. Hasn't had to use oxygen or anything like that for 4 months, man, and she was on oxygen for 2.5 years.
I heard her talk for the first time, and it took me back to the way she talked when we were younger, and I got pretty emotional to hear her talk like she used to talk with, I guess that's still in my memory of,
Right.
How when I look at her, I still think of that. So it was really wild to hear her talk so much like she used to.
Yeah, I'm very grateful because I got my girl back.
Yeah.
And I just want to give a shout out to single parents, because I was a single parent for like 3 years while she was going through this. And what you do is incredible. So give yourselves a pat on the back and
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no joke. That job is no joke.
Also, we played a couple of shows, right? Since then, right? I think it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
We went in the studio.
We've done some music, yeah. We got a single out right now.
Yeah, that's
One Heart, One Love, One Life.
It's great too. It's a great song. Nice recording of it.
Actually has video.
Yeah. We'll put the video link in the description here
Yeah.
when we post this. And what else?
Well, something that stuck out in the experience of Angie and her lung transplant that I've kind of been using that I find as fascinating is what you told me when she first got home or out, and you explained to me that if she does not take her pills, she does not follow the program, that they, meaning the police, will come and arrest her.
Yeah, they'll send the police to arrest her, and because they consider that committing suicide, because if you're not taking your anti-reject meds and all the different meds, because they give you a whole thing of meds that you need to take to stay alive after the transplant, basically, you're basically committing suicide. So yeah.
As shocking as it was when I heard you say it, I immediately understood it because I saw what you guys went through, how hard it was, how long you've waited, and how devastating, it was becoming. So, yeah, those lungs, if not cared for properly, could have gone to somebody that will, and that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why. Because like when we were getting training to before she got released from the hospital, you literally have to do training, and it was about 4 hours. 4 hours of training to know what to do if this occurs, what if you get a certain temperature, you need to call in and to go in. If you if you don't take your meds, they can call the police on you, and all these different things that we learned, diet, and they literally give you like a binder with recommended food for diet, exercise, and all these things, and you have to be trained as a caregiver. I had to know these things before they let her out, and but I'll tell you the truth, since she's been home, man, it's been such a blessing, because she's really just, it's funny how she just like picked up where she left off.
Mm-hmm.
Our romantic life is back. Our my best friend's back. Like, she's like my best friend, like my confidant, she's like my foundation. You know what I mean?
Partner in crime.
Partner in crime, man. She's my ride or die. You know what I mean? It's like all that. You know what I'm saying? And everyone that knows us knows this, that we've been a couple for 36 plus years. I think it's plus 36 now. 36 plus.
You're the one we model from.
And so we're very lucky, and God has really blessed us, and I'm very thankful for it. And to all of you who will see this and have been praying for us and encouraging us, and literally donating to us. I mean, like just blessing us with gifts and everything, man. We say thank you, and we appreciate it so much.
And Angie, welcome to the Zipper Club.
Right. The incision it's a crazy thing, but really all you can see is just a little thing here.
Really?
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy, but it's been a roller coaster. But since that's happened since last show, yeah. You know what? We'll be right back.
See inside your mind. I've loved you forever and a lifetime. Oh yeah. Could I quell the fear you feel
So,
inside?
a lot has taken place over these last few months. On a personal level, with me, I'd been dating somebody for, well, at the time it was probably about, 7-8 months. And it was like hot and cold until I kind of put my foot down and gave an ultimatum of either sobriety or the highway. Well, in an effort to make it work, she took the sobriety route and checked into a 6-month rehab. But rehab was no joke. It was the real deal. Hard work. And a lot of tears and pain. She did it. She managed to get through successfully, graduated, and did it with a lot of respect and a lot of honor. So, last few days before graduation, I remember talking and said that she's afraid to go back to living alone because she was afraid of relapse. And the classes that I took while she was there, they say 80% do relapse. 80%. So I was like, wow, man, you know, I didn't want that on my shoulders, knowing that she just did that. Hopefully for her as well as me, but you know, that she just made that commitment that I should be able to make a similar one, and she moved in with me, and things were going quite well. Pretty good. It's a pretty good ride for about, I'd say, 2 weeks before she actually did relapse. And somewhere along the line, somebody, on a post that I put out on Facebook, somebody who was a counselor to me said, Joe, I hope you understand that what's going on here with the alcohol is secondary to what the problem is. And like a light bulb just went off, and I started to realize and started putting the pieces of the puzzle together that before she checked into rehab, she kept saying, you're going to realize that one day that this wasn't the right place for me. She's from Honduras, and English is her second language, so I kind of figured it wasn't a language barrier. That's why we weren't able to kind of really understand, but I started to realize real quick that I didn't understand because she didn't know what it was, because it was something that as a primary that was affecting her. And without getting too detailed, all I could say is that as I started to see it unfold, and whatever it was that was starting to make it surface was the most terrifying and heartbreaking thing that I've seen in a long time. To see this beautiful girl just hold her head and wonder why her brain is functioning the way it is. And for too long, you know, she ended up going to her family's, where she's under the care and supervision of the family, but there is a diagnosis of something coming, and you know, until we get that, all we can do is assume, but it's looking like, you know, it's going to be a medical a brain disorder, you know, maybe bipolar, something along those lines. And I just, this is a first for me. I don't have the manual for this. I did, realizing it now, I know I did so many things wrong that I could have done differently that would have not accelerated. There's a good chance that she's feeling the way she is because, you know, I'm pretty intense. You know, I couldn't live with me. So, you know, maybe I drove it out. You know, I don't know.
Well, something you said a little earlier about alcoholism, you know, alcohol being a secondary. You know, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I have been sober for 18 years. And I do know that alcohol brings out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know how they say that alcohol is a truth serum?
Yeah.
Right? And what people are thinking in their minds and their brains when they drink, it comes out.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I'm not going to diminish the fact that there's a possibility of being bipolar.
Yeah.
But alcohol is something that you don't want in conjunction with being bipolar.
It takes it to number
You know.
10, you know, it takes it to the 10, but
I think too, I mean, we've just come through this season of this supposed pandemic. Don't get me wrong. There's an epidemic. It's a disease, and it gets people sick, for sure.
Right.
But it's been driven into the minds of a lot of people
That it's worse than it is.
that it's worse than it is. And believe me, people have died from it, and we totally understand that. We've actually done a show on this. You might want to go back and take a look at that. But the mental health end of that has not been good for America.
Right.
Has not been good for people. Matter of fact, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, violence, domestic violence, all those things have
Superseded.
gone to a new height
Right.
since this pandemic has come about. This is something that she could be suffering from because the news is constantly pounding in your heads that you need to do something about your mental health, or or maybe the fact that you're actually suffering from something, or whatever the case may be. And I don't want to like diminish that on anyone. If you could be suffering from a disease, but at the same time, man, it doesn't help when somebody is taking things out of context and making things worse. And alcohol is one of those things that even makes it worse.
Right.
I've gone through a bout with mental health over the last couple of months. I don't have anxiety, and I'm not a person that gets depressed, but I've experienced it over the last couple of months, and I can tell you it's not fun. But again, I'm trying to be respectful, and I don't want to offend anybody, especially when it comes to this particular topic. Mental health it's a real deal. It's real.
I believe one of the reasons we started talking and I gravitated towards her is because at the time I had just lost my son, Gianluca, and that's a trauma that has the capacity to alter the way you think and the way you function. It did me for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It still does, actually. And when she started telling me about the traumas she's experienced and dealt with, no other person has been able to drop my jaw the way she did. And I was shocked at what she was telling me. And she says, if that shocked you, then you're really going to be dumbfounded when I tell you the rest, which I never even heard the rest. And I couldn't, I was like, yeah, no more. Not right now yet.
Mm-hmm.
But after hearing about her traumas, it was no surprise to me that what she was experiencing now is the aftermath, and that she uses the alcohol to silence it.
Well, see, I think that's something that it's a trait that abuse, like alcohol abuse, like drug abuse and stuff like that. That's one of the traits, is to use it to silence the pain, the demons, and all the different things. And until of course you get the diagnosis or whatever. And I'm literally, just so you guys know, I'm literally hearing this for like the first time. Be honest with you, we had a little bit of discussion about it, but this stuff right here is
Off the cuff.
It's off the cuff. And I got to tell you that I mean, my wife even, she went through a bout with mental health because of, wondering whether or not she's ever going to get the transplant, and it's messing with her. And, she's just like, I can't do this anymore. And so, it's real. And unfortunately, we turn to other vices to try to cope with things. And then that turns into a problem,
Right.
You see? And this is sort of, I want to say, this is sort of this is what happens in America lately. I think it's probably happened for a long time. I just, more so now. A lot of people, I mean, there's this, we're living in a tough time.
Things are scary outside right
Yeah,
now.
we're living in a tough time.
What they say about what rolls downhill.
Yeah. Well, right here, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back.
Oh, yeah. Can you show me the secrets of tomorrow? Help me bury
And
the
we're back.
troubles of
So we've been friends a long time. We've gone through a lot of different life experiences, and I can honestly say I was 52 years old, and I was not prepared for anything remotely close, even though I've seen, hints of it here and there, and I just had no idea how to deal with this and what to do and why I was seeing what I was seeing. Have you ever seen something like this? I mean, what's your experience with disorders of this nature?
Well, we have some members of our family that are bipolar, but they take medication for it. And it seems to be, they seem to live just a pretty normal life.
Really?
The question is, I think, are you willing to admit you have a problem? And if you do, are you willing to do something about it? But again, I think that this is something that is really across the board for alcoholism, drugs, if you have an addiction to sex or, any type of addiction. Once you admit it, then that's 50% of it, and then the other half is doing something about it. Some people, they don't know they have it.
I think that's kind of where she is right now. There isn't even a true diagnosis yet.
Right. And, and that's a little scary. I don't have much experience when it comes to this as far as, dealing with it, but I've been around people that exhibit those types of traits, both violent and not. I noticed, though, that there are some folks that they just love controversy.
My ex used to tell me when she was divorced, she said, "You'll be fine." I'm like, "Why am I going to be fine?" She says, "You love to live in the chaos."
Yeah, but I mean, it's unfortunately, that's what they get off on. That's how they love to live, and that was something always wrong.
Yeah.
Something always, that kind of drives them to keep going, or, it's exciting maybe, or maybe it gives them some type of adrenaline or something, it's just, it's crazy. And I've experienced people like that in my life, that they can't live a day without controversy. And some of the things I do know about you guys' relationship is that there was a lot of controversy days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, the way I look at it is, I see a few different personalities in there, and the one I'm really into, I've maybe seen 10-15% of our relationship, and if you're looking at it from a scale perspective, that don't weigh out properly, to kind of keep it going. But at the same time, you draw your line of where you're going to stand from a humanitarian perspective, and I, my commitment was getting her to a certain point before I say I've done all I can do. And I'm at that point. But yeah, I have no idea how this is going to play out. Yeah, it's just, I can't, that's something I can't, I gotta read upon and educate myself on to kind of see where things go for situations like this moving forward.
I think I want to just kind of stress to the audience that, you know, we're not here as doctors or anything like that, or anyone that's, you know, we're not experts on mental health or anything like that, but what we do have is a PhD in life.
Yeah.
And we're just having a conversation back and forth as bros and best friends, and, you know, and maybe by us talking and bouncing things off of each other, some way, somehow, you guys will benefit from that. So I just want to really make that clear. We're just talking. We're having conversation. When we're not doing this, this is how we talk. It's about life. It's about our relationships. It's about our families. It's about all the different things. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand that. If something that we says helps, man, praise God. And all, you know, more power to you. So that being said, I just wanted to, first of all, I just want you to know my heart goes out to you.
Thanks. Thank you, man.
And, you know, I'm always here for you.
I got you.
He's always here for me too. You know. With that, we'll be right back.
Mine. Will you ever find one heart so inside? One heart,
And we're back. I think we want to try to, well, Joe just wants to share where, you know, this is going, or where it possibly can go. And
Yeah. I think for me, there's sort of an inner conflict of where to place guilt and, you know, doing what's right for myself. I have to look in the mirror. So I got to make sure that I can do that. And I guess meet the objective that is going to be the best for each of us with dignity, you know, for both of us. There was, I didn't know if I was going to touch on this, but there was a situation that took place in one of those episodes, and it involved police. There was a few actually that, you know, that was more like police helping. And that right there, I think, is once that situation is done and I can clear my heart, my name of why she and the family think I took it there, then I can walk away with my head high and know them knowing, you know, I did everything I could for her. I was the one that got her through that rehab, and you know, you just gotta set that line. And like you said, did you move that line? Did you adjust it along the way? You know, maybe I scooted it a little bit here and there as I started to understand how this gnarly disease works. It's just, you know, I'm one of those people who I don't do drugs because I can never let my mind be altered. I have to be in control. I have to be. The second I do something that takes my control away, I do not like it. And, you know, you got that kind of control being taken away from you for a situation like that, I would go absolutely insane. So,
I think people draw the line. You know, I used to be lenient, you know, but I gotten to the point in my life where, you know, if I say this is the line, that's the line. And once you cross that line, for people it's different, you know, it's different. As far as like when to say quit, you know, when to say enough's enough. For everyone it's different, I think. Some people, you know, are willing to give that the benefit of the doubt and spend a lot more time and energy on it. Some people are just like, you know what? Once you cross that, that's it. I'm kind of one of those people now. But I used to be, you know, I used to take the time and put energy in and stuff, but I don't know, the situation with Angie and her transplant and everything, it kind of changed me a little bit as far as things go. I mean, I got to get my yes has to be yes and my no is no. You know what I mean? It's like type of thing. But as far as a relationship goes, where there's stuff like this that's happening, I mean, for you, I mean,
you got feelings involved now, yeah.
Yeah, you got feelings involved. You got a heart the size of the Grand Canyon, and you know, when you want to help somebody, you do, you know, and that's not a bad thing at all. I don't think. I think it's a good thing. But sometimes, you know, I mean, I think in your mind, you're like, you probably the whole time you're saying how you adjust the line, you probably go, man, should I be doing this?
Yeah.
You know, but we all got to live our life the way that we think is the best way that we could live it, is in, you know, with our relationships and family and job and all the things that we juggle in life. So, you know, we love you, bro. However, we don't care what people think. You know, we don't, because the bottom line is, at the end of the day, we got to live with ourselves.
Right.
And when we live with ourselves, if we're okay, who cares what anyone thinks? I mean, that's kind of, I mean, I've like really always been that way. LT was that way. I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
You know, right? LT was like, I don't care what you think about me. I'm gonna do what I want, and that's it. Right. And you know, but you know, if you look at the Facebook posts and the different things and all the encouragement that you get,
oh,
you know, people don't care.
Yeah.
They just want to see that you, I mean, because to them, I mean, when I look at it, you've done all you could do and you did the best you could, and whatever anyone else thinks, that's their problem, what they think.
Yeah, no, everybody on Facebook, wow, you guys have been my counselors, my support. You know, I got free counseling over there through this. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, and I especially appreciate that, even though I got the support, that nobody went on the attack on her, because, you know, the way I look at it is, I got this disease, autoimmune disease, and I can't control it other than through medication. So that's her situation too, and that's how I look at it.
You know, I said to you many times, and even earlier, that, you know, when it's time to cut it, it's time to cut it. And I think you're there. I'm thankful to hear that nobody's attacked her, because it's not good for anybody to do that.
Yeah.
And you know, we're just.
Well, I had to pull a couple of my pit bulls back. I think they knew who they are.
Well, at the same time, I mean, I mean, I've seen it pretty civil, so I think you're okay. I think we're all right. But I do want to address one thing, if I could. You know, so we're in the studio here, and right over there is a drum set that's live. And so if I hit it, it's gonna be loud. And someone called the cops on me
When?
a few weeks ago. And so I went on Facebook and I posted, to the neighbor that called the cops on me, go jump in the lake, right? And the thing that made me upset was they flagged my post saying that I was telling someone to go commit suicide. I just want to say to Facebook, and I don't know if this will get taken down or not, but you know what? Don't tell me what I think. Don't infer by anything I say that you know what I'm thinking, because you do not know what I'm thinking.
We know what fact checkers really are.
I've already disputed like twice, and they told me that I'm suspended. So I usually do lives Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I haven't been able to do that this whole month so far, and I got 13 days left until I can go live. You know what? And that's across all of my pages. So all the pages that I'm an admin on are not allowed to go live. I think maybe you can, but
You just got to set up a burner account.
so I don't know.
Joe
But-
Dirt.
I want to say the reason why I brought this up is because I'm the kind of person that you don't need to worry about what I'm thinking, because I'll tell you what I'm thinking.
That's not the case with me.
I'll say what I mean and mean what I say. And if when you tell someone to go jump in the lake, how many times have you seen that on Facebook where people are like, man, go jump in the lake, like cool off, man, like take it easy, like, you know what I mean, like lighten up.
Mm-hmm.
But they saw fit to make it something worse than what it is. That's what's happening in this day and age. They're taking things that aren't bad and turning them into things that are bad and making it sound and look like that. I'm sorry. I had to speak up right here because this is my platform. This is my platform right here.
Man, you're preaching to the choir, man. I got thrown in 30 days for posting a picture of my son. My favorite picture of him when he's doing that, the beach, because he didn't have a shirt on. I got put in Facebook jail for 30 days for that picture.
Do you know, Facebook, that his boy got killed in a car crash, and his father is memorializing his boy? Did you know that, Facebook? You need to get off your high horse. That's what you need to do. The man's grieving. His boy is only 15 years old. 15. And for that to happen, bro, I think that's pretty crappy, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of that happening. So I want to suggest something. If you want to know what I'm thinking, ask me. Okay? And when I tell you what I'm thinking, whether you like it or you don't like it, I'm sorry about that. But, if I tell you what I'm thinking and give you the context, don't tell me it's something else, please.
Yeah.
Don't tell me it's something else.
Don't take it out of context. Keep it right where it is, right where it's intended.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
I've used that phrase on Facebook for the last 12 years. Never once has it been flagged. Never once has it been flagged. And I'm pretty pissed off about it.
You didn't vote for Biden.
Yeah, well, that's exactly probably what happened. But and by the way, that everyone that did vote for Biden, you guys, we're in a pickle.
I don't know how I'm going to afford gas home.
All right, I guess that's enough humor and enough venting.
Yeah.
Of course, like always, drop your comments. Let us know what you think.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. We're
Relief.
yeah, it's a lot. there's so much to talk about. This one's kind of a tough one to, I don't know, articulate. Sometimes it's kind of hard to articulate in a way that doesn't sound, we're not really trying to be offensive. I mean, believe me, if a lot of people know me, when they talk to me in person, they know that I do my best to encourage and all that.
I know with this topic, I was way out of my wheelhouse. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to process everything, so yeah, I probably didn't articulate quite well, best I could have. But
well, I hope this discussion helped you in some way. I hope that it encouraged you in some way. I hope it meets you where you are in some way. And if not, I hope that you were entertained a little bit by my venting or Joe's venting or our jokes, maybe. But if you go back a few episodes, you'll see that, Joe's a kind of a joking kind of guy. So at the end of this show, we're going to post a video of one of his antics.
Ja, das ist gut.
And that's how we're going to end this show. I'm Jeff.
I'm Joe.
And it's Truth Be Told. Peace.